There are rules about hiking alone. Don't go off trail. Tell someone where you're going. And whatever you do, don't pick up things that don't belong to you. I broke every one of those rules last October in a forest in Washington state. I'm still paying for it. Last October, I drove out to the Gifford Pinchot National Forest in southern Washington state. I'm a landscape photographer, have been for about 6 years, ever since I left a dead-end desk job in Portland. I like going off trail. I like finding spots no one else has shot. That morning, the sky was slate gray. The forest was quiet, not peaceful quiet, hell breath, quiet. I parked at a trailhead off Forest Road 25 and started hiking alone. No cell service, no other cars in the lot, just me, my pack, and 3 miles of dense Pacific Northwest timber ahead. About 3 miles in, I find a clearing. There's a tent, just a tent. No fire pit, no chairs, no cooler. It sits there, zipped tight, like someone sealed it shut and walked away. I call out, "Hello." Nothing. The air feels wrong. Thick. I almost turn back. But then I see it. A digital camera sitting on a flat rock beside the tent. Like someone set it down mid-thought and forgot it. I pick it up. I tell myself, I'm trying to identify the owner. The first few photos are normal. Trees, a creek, a ridge at golden hour. Then the photos change. There's a shot of a silver Honda Civic. My Honda Civic, parked at the trailhead. My stomach drops. I scroll again. A photo of someone walking into the woods from the lot. The jacket is mine. The boots are mine. It's me. The next shot is me, from 50 yards back, crouching to tie my shoe near a fallen Douglas fir. I remember that moment. Someone was behind me, close, patient. I scroll faster. Each photo is closer. Each one is sharper. The timestamps are all from today. My hands are shaking. Then I notice something else. Before the photos of me, there are other sets, other hikers, different people, different seasons, all photographed the same way, from a distance, getting closer, always ending in this clearing. I count the sets. 7 different people, all tracked to this same spot, all photographed holding this same camera. The last image in each set is the same. The person standing here, camera in hand, face frozen, in confusion. This isn't random. This is a pattern. Someone leaves this camera here on purpose. They wait. They watch. Whoever picks it up. Scroll through the photos. That moment of frozen horror, that's what they want. I click to the very last photo. It's me, standing right here, holding the camera. The angle is from the bushes, 20 feet behind me. The timestamp reads, 3 minutes ago. I drop the camera. I don't look behind me. A branch snaps, close, deliberate, not the wind, a boot, pressing down, slow. I run. I don't pick a direction, I just move. Branches tear at my arms. My pack slams against my back. I trip once, catch myself, keep going. I don't look back. I can hear something behind me. Not chasing, following, matching my pace, crashing through the brush at my speed, like it doesn't need to catch me yet. I run until my lungs burn, until the trees thin, until I see the gravel lot and my car. I drove straight home to Portland, locked every door, sat on the kitchen floor and didn't move for 2 hours. I never reported it. I told myself I didn't want the attention, but the truth is, I didn't want to go back. I didn't want anyone to confirm what I already knew. That was 11 months ago. I don't hike alone anymore. I sold most of my camera gear. Some nights, I lie awake and wonder about those other 7 people in the photos, whether they all made it out of that clearing, whether they all ran in time, whether any of them didn't. I still check behind me everywhere I go, parking lots, grocery stores, my own backyard, because whoever was in those woods, they knew my car, they knew my route, they watched me for miles and never made a sound until they wanted me to know. I don't take photos anymore, but sometimes I wonder if someone's still taking photos of me. I've never told anyone the full story of what happened in those Virginia woods, not because I'm afraid they won't believe me, because I'm afraid they will. Last October, I drove out to the George Washington National Forest in Virginia, solo camping trip. I needed to get away. I've been working 60-hour weeks at a distribution center outside Richmond, and I was burned out. I picked a remote spot deep off the main trail. No other campers, no cell service, just me and the trees. The temperature had dropped hard that week. The woods were dead silent. No insects, no wind, just cold, still air and bare branches. I set up my tent near a creek bed, cooked a simple dinner over my camp stove, and crawled into my sleeping bag early. The silence felt like a gift. At first, I wake at 2 a.m. I don't know why. My eyes open, and I lie there in the dark, disoriented, listening. Then I hear it. Crunch, crunch, slow, heavy footsteps. Something is circling my tent. Not a bear. Bears shuffle. They lumber. This is deliberate, bipedal, 2 legs, a person, walking a slow, measured circle around me. I lie frozen in my sleeping bag, my hand closing around my knife. My breath goes shallow. I try not to make a sound. The footsteps continue. One full circle, then another, each step crunching the frozen leaves with a patience that makes my stomach turn. This isn't someone lost. This is someone who knows exactly where I am. On the 3rd circle, the footsteps stop, right at the head of my tent, inches from my face. I can feel the presence on the other side of that thin nylon wall. Then something presses against the fabric. I watch the tent wall deform inward. Slowly, I can see the outline of a face pushing into the material, the shape of a forehead, a nose. It is right there, inches from my own face. I hold my knife so tight, my knuckles ache. I don't breathe. Then the sniffing starts. Deep, deliberate inhalations. Whatever is out there is smelling me, drawing my scent through the fabric like an animal, identifying prey. I think about yelling. I think about slashing through the tent and running. But something in my gut tells me not to move, not to make a single sound, because this doesn't feel like an attack. It feels like a selection, like whatever is out there is deciding something about me. Then the humming begins. Low, guttural, a melody I almost recognize. Like a lullaby dragged through gravel, it rises and falls in a slow, broken rhythm. The face stays pressed against the tent. The humming doesn't stop. 10 minutes. I know, because I watch every second tick on my watch. The faint glow of the dial, the only light I have. 10 minutes of that sound vibrating through the fabric, through my skull, into my chest. I've never been more afraid in my life. Not of dying, of being chosen. Then it stops. The face pulls away. The footsteps resume, slow, unhurried, and fade into the darkness. I don't move. I lie there gripping my knife until the first grey light of dawn creeps through the trees. The second I can see, I pack up faster than I've ever packed anything. I don't eat. I don't check the area. I hike out in under an hour. When I reach my car, I lock the doors and sit there shaking. I drive home to Richmond. I tell my buddy Marcus about it that weekend. He says it was probably just some drifter, but I see the look on his face. He doesn't believe his own words. I never go back to those woods. I never see who it was. I never find tracks. Some nights, when my apartment gets too quiet, I still hear it. that low, wet humming, that patient breathing through fabric. I tell myself it was just a disturbed person wandering the woods. But people don't sniff like that. People don't hum like that. And people don't stand perfectly still for 10 minutes in freezing darkness, pressing their face against a stranger's tent, and then just walk away. Whatever was outside my tent that night, it wasn't deciding whether to hurt me. It was deciding whether to come back. Search and rescue taught me to respond to every cry for help. It never taught me what to do when the cry is a trap, and whatever set it is listening to see if you'll come down. I volunteer with search and rescue out of Flagstaff, Arizona, 3 years now. Before that, I worked wildland fire crews near Prescott. I know these canyons. I know every sound they make. Wind through sandstone, coyotes off the walls, rocks cracking in the cold. This happened on a Tuesday in late October. I was off duty, hiking a trail along Oak Creek Canyon south of Sedona. I'd started late, and the sun was dropping behind the rim. I was about 20 minutes from my truck when I heard it. From the bottom of the ravine, maybe 200 feet below, a woman's voice screamed, "Please, help me, my ankle." It sounded terrified. My training kicked in before my brain did. I moved to the edge and yelled back, "I'm here, stay put." The voice replied instantly, "Please, help me, my ankle." Same words. I told myself she was panicking. People repeat themselves when they're scared. I started looking for a way down. Then I stopped. I've heard hundreds of distress calls, real ones shift. The pitch wavers, the breathing changes. People stammer and cry. This voice didn't waver, not one syllable. The pitch was identical. The volume was identical. The pause between "help me" and "my ankle" was the exact same length, like someone had drawn it with a ruler. I tested it. I stood still and stayed silent for a full minute. From the dark below, "Please, help me, my ankle." Same timing, same cadence, same breath. That wasn't a breath. The canyon was almost black now. The trees below me were just dark shapes. The air smelled like wet stone. Then I heard something that made my whole body go still. A sound rose from the ravine, high-pitched, electronic, a thin mechanical squeal, like a cassette tape, rewinding. 2 seconds, then a hard click. The voice played again, but wrong. "Police, hell leaves, hell lip, me, slower, dragging, distorted, like a recording at the wrong speed. The vowels stretched into something that didn't sound human anymore. I wasn't talking to a woman. I was hearing a recording. Something at the bottom of that ravine had a device, playing a captured voice on loop, waiting for someone to hear it and climb down. A ranger once mentioned something to me. 3 separate reports over 2 years. Hikers hearing voices that were physically inaccessible, narrow slot canyons, crumbling ledges, places you don't come back from. Alone. No one was ever found. No injured hiker. Nothing. But in one case, they found drag marks in the sand at the bottom and a single shoe. I take 1 step back from the edge, then another. The recording clicks again. The voice plays faster now, higher, almost eager. "Please, help me, my ankle, please help me." It repeats without pause, overlapping. 2 voices, maybe 3, stacked on top of each other, like a broken chorus. I don't run. Running on a canyon trail in the dark is how people die. I walk fast. My headlamp cuts a shaking beam through dust. Every shadow looks like something crouching behind me. The voice fades, but just before it disappears, I hear one more sound, not the recording. Footsteps, slow and deliberate. Climbing the slope, I reach my truck. My hands shake so badly. I drop the keys, I lock the doors and drive. I don't stop until Sedona. I reported it to the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. They sent a team. The next morning, found nothing. No device, no tracks, no shoe, just silence at the bottom of the ravine. I haven't hiked Oak Creek Canyon since. I still volunteer with search and rescue, but something in me changed. When I hear a voice calling for help now, there's a pause before I respond. A half second where I listen, really listen, for the thing that doesn't belong, the identical pitch, the mechanical pause, the sound that's too perfect to be human. I don't know what was down there. A person with a speaker. Something worse. I just know it learned what sound makes a rescuer leave the trail and step into the dark. If stories like this keep you up at night, subscribe, and maybe don't listen to the next one alone, because here's what I can't stop thinking about. That recording had to come from somewhere. Someone's real voice is on that tape, and wherever she is, no one ever found her either.